Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Who has been missing from the last couple videos because Mama Sparkles is in the hospital.
Mama Sparkles is still in the hospital, but she might get to come home today.
Okay, so hopefully Mama Sparkles gets to come home. She's been there since Thanksgiving, and you know, poor Geeky has been over there.
I just worry about my mom, but I think we're doing better, so we'll see what goes.
All right, so we are going to talk about The Mandalorian Episode 4. We're going to talk about Cara Dune. And we're going to talk about whether or not this show has gone, quote-unquote, SJW on us. Because a lot of people are saying that the show has gone, quote-unquote, SJW. And we have some thoughts on that.
I have lots of thoughts on that.
Okay, so before we get into the video, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, I want to get that in there, asterisk views.
Yeah, people don't understand what that means.
And rants here on CLOWNFISH TV. We're almost at 80,000 subs, hoping for 100,000 soon. Thank you so much for the support. Now, The Mandalorian. We weren't impressed at first, but the last couple weeks have actually been very good.
It has been.
And we are the quote-unquote Star Wars haters.
That's right.
You know?
Actually, I'll just be fair. I'm always going to be fair when it comes to this stuff as much as I can be. And I'm going to be fair on this. And some people aren't going to like it. And they're just going to have to get over it. News,
views,
yes,
opinions, and rants.
So they're going to have to get over it.
That's what we do here.
Because I know there's people who aren't going to like my take on this, and I really don't care. But anyway.
And there's some people who are going to agree with you. So there has been discussion. Now, if you haven't watched Mandalorian Episode 4 yet and you don't want spoilers, don't watch this episode. Because we're going to spoil the shit out of it.
That's right.
If you're under 13, don't watch this episode because we want money.
Yeah.
We don't want to get our channel pulled down. So I said the SH word that scared the children off. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how, you know, even the Mandalorian now is being used as kind of a blunt weapon against Star Wars fans. Mm-hmm. You know, this it's just a mess. It's a mess.
Well, a lot of these articles are doubling down and trying to use it to troll fans again. I'm like, which was what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Which is, you guys have something that unifies people. You're starting to get the fandom back. If I were Disney and Lucasfilm, I'd be shutting down these people because they're deliberately going out to stir up more shit because they need views. So, you know, they need to stop them because, you know, you're finally getting people back on board and they're going to make sure it gets ruined because, you know, they have to have those hits.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that too. But Mandalorian Episode 4 in a nutshell. The Mandalorian goes to... Now, we've seen this story many times before.
Yeah, it's not a new kind of story.
In Westerns, in samurai movies.
Which is what Star Wars was based on.
Right, so it makes total sense. Mandalorian has to hide out someplace with Baby Yoda. He goes to a backwater planet where there's a bunch of, what are they, space fish? Is that what they're catching? Krill? Is that what they were? A bunch of farmers who are being attacked by raiders, and they don't know how to fight. So he's got to help them fight off the raiders, and he runs into a mercenary named Cara Dune, who happens to be a woman. Mm-hmm. And she's very bulky, but I guess she's the actress.
She's thick. She's awesome.
Yeah, the actress is an MMA fighter.
Yeah, you can tell. She'll kick your butt.
Yeah, so the two of them, they have, you know, town's not big enough for both of them. So they have a standoff. It's kind of a draw. Baby Yoda breaks up. Then they decide to team up together and go help these fishermen, farmers fight off the raiders. And then, you know, they take care of that and then they move on to the next town. That's very Western. Mm-hmm. That's a very Western thing. I liked the episode quite a bit.
It was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good. And you know what?
Baby Yoda was awesome as always.
Baby Yoda was awesome as always. Now, this episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, Ron Howard's daughter.
Right.
So that was kind of interesting.
She's also a redhead.
She's also a redhead. Yes, she is.
She's also ginger.
Yeah, so weird. They actually cast her to play Gwen Stacy in the original Spider-Man trilogy, but she had the red hair.
Yeah.
And then they had it's like, you guys got that all wrong. You got that all wrong. You also got backwards because you had Gwen Stacy come in after Mary Jane, but I digress.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I actually like this one, and you know, people had a lot of concerns that they were introducing a female mercenary, but it's done, I personally think, again, news, views, and opinions. It's done in such a way that it's not, I don't think it's quote-unquote SJW.
It's my turn now?
Yeah, so I'm going to sit back. Geeky's going to let it rip.
Okay. I actually agree. I do not think this is a case of a female character coming in to SJW this up, and I'll tell you why. What we see in the Star Wars films, like in The Last Jedi, is you have to lessen the male characters to make these other female characters better. Like, they can't stand on their own, toe to toe. They have to have some kind of, weakness to them, and they have to be asshats. They have to be weaklings. They have to have some kind of critical flaw to make you not like them, so the female characters appear better and greater than they were, and they show up and they're just the best at everything for no reason. This is not what happens here. When I talk about writing strong female characters, I am talking about Cara Dune. So far, I'm not to say that you won't ruin her later on, as of just this episode right now, because she goes toe to toe with the Mandalorian, and it doesn't weaken or lessen him in any way. They do not have to make him weaker or lesser, for her to, be better.
Yeah, that's the key difference with Rey. Okay, well, here's a couple things about Cara Dune, too. They explain her backstory.
Yes.
She was a shock trooper. She worked for the Rebel Alliance. She's a soldier.
Yeah, there's a reason why she's good, and they tell you why.
There's a reason why she's thick. She's a trained soldier. Rey she hung out on the desert planet, never picked up a lightsaber before, and next thing you know, she's doing advanced Jedi tricks.
She can fight off a Jedi master basically with out of nowhere, because she's just that good.
She's that good. She had no training. She didn't have to earn it. Cara Dune, just like the Mandalorian, had to earn it. She had to earn it.
And they established that. So it's like she's not like just showing up and just suddenly better than him for no reason. She wasn't better than him anyway. It was a draw. And then he's like, you want some soup? Which was pretty funny. And then Baby Yoda sitting there drinking the soup, which was hilarious. Anyway, Baby Yoda, oh my God. But she was not better. She was not, he was not less than to make her better.
Right.
She tried to get the jump on him. It ended up in a draw. They are both skilled. They work together. They work as a team. It was actually a team, not just a woman bossing them around, and clearly she's the better one and he's just there for comic relief because he's an idiot. No, it was two strong characters working as a team. When I talk about writing strong female characters and how you need to make them toe-to-toe equal and not, some kind of handicap given to them and make the men less than to make them a strong female character, I'm talking about Cara Dune, because they wrote her in such a way that she was toe-to-toe equal. She was a strong female character because she could hold her own. They don't have to make him less than to make her more than. She was just good and had a reason to be so.
And her gender never comes up. And that's the difference too with, I think, strong female characters or strong ethnic characters or whatever versus, quote unquote SJW pandering is with the SJW comics, the SJW movies, they make sure that did I mention I'm a woman? I'm a woman. I'm a minority. I'm a woman. Hey, I'm gay too. That never comes up.
Romance never comes up. Sexual orientation never comes up.
She's a soldier that happens to be female. And I don't see anything, I personally don't see anything wrong with that.
No.
I don't see anything wrong with Cara Dune. I mean, because if that's the case, if you're going to nitpick just because Cara Dune is female, then you're also going to have to rip apart Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. You're also going to have to rip apart Alita, because Alita, I mean, she was heads above everybody else, but they also...
But there was a reason.
Explained it. She was a cyborg. She was a soldier.
Right.
She had training. I have no problem with characters who have fleshed out backstories, and at that point, personally, I think if you have a problem with Cara Dune, then you are going to have to look and see, is it just because she's female?
Right.
Because you can have a badass female character that isn't like in your face, like, by the way, I beat this guy without any training because I'm a woman. Girl power, and that was not the case.
It's kind of like Leia in the old movies. Like, she picked up a blaster and she was like, I'm going to save myself now. Thanks for getting me out of the cell. You know what I mean? It was like, you never felt like she was beneath them. She always went toe-to-toe with them, on adventures with them,
Yeah, and I never felt that way about, Xena or Buffy either.
No.
It was like they just happened to kick ass. They just happened to be women. That is the difference between having a strong female character, a strong minority character, a strong LGBTQ character, whatever, versus what
Can we just say a strong character?
Yes, that's it. When you don't, okay, that's the difference. The difference is when you don't have to call attention to the person's gender or sexual orientation or skin color or whatever. The character is just a good character because they are.
That's what I've been saying all this time.
That's the difference.
And that's what she is.
Yeah.
And that's what, and people are like, no, here we go, SJWs. I do not think so. Not with this character. With Rey, almost definitely.
Absolutely. Rey is literally textbook Mary Sue. Mm-hmm. I mean, she is
no matter how the bloggers say, she is.
Yeah, she is. She didn't earn anything. She got handed everything, and she just happens to innately be the best at everything because she showed up, and that's not the case. I am not getting that vibe at all off of Cara Dune. I think that maybe Lucasfilm, is kind of cognizant of that. Like, what are the complaints people had about Rey? Let's go the opposite.
Can we just make characters great again?
Yeah. Oh, you can't say that.
Yeah, I don't like Trump that much, but you know what? I just thought it would set some people off. It'd be funny because they'll go about how I'm alt-right, and I don't even vote right. But that's okay.
We're gonna get there. So speaking of people who are triggered and not very bright, if she just waited a week, if Sarkeesian had just waited a week, she would have got her legitimately strong female character.
At least another one's coming. Well, then we have they're supposed to be. Is it Ming-Na Wen's character? She's supposed to be in The Mandalorian too. So we're going to get more than one female character in the show.
Yeah, so we have Fennec Shand, is that her name? Will appear midway through the first season. So chapter 5, I don't know. Maybe she'll be in next week.
Yeah, she wasn't in this one, so chapter 5. And they also had women in the village and stuff here too. And the one woman, and I want to point out, the one woman villager was a sharpshooter, which I didn't explain why.
Yeah, they didn't explain why, and that made people mad too, because they're like, of all the farmers in the village, the one woman, raised.
I'm sure there's a reason they didn't explain it yet.
Yeah, so
because they seem to be really, like you said, cognizant of not making them marry Sue. So I'm thinking there's probably a reason that we just haven't heard what it is yet.
Yeah, so I mean, could this show legitimately go quote unquote SJW?
Oh yeah, it could.
It could. But I think we also have, we have Dave Filoni working on Jon Favreau. They've been pretty good about trying
to balance it.
Yeah, because you look at, Dave Filoni, especially with Clone Wars and Rebels, and he had, legitimately good female characters. We had Ahsoka, which is a fan favorite now. Hope to God they don't ruin her with Brie Larson. But, he's pretty good at bringing these characters in and making them actual characters. And that's really what the difference is. The difference is the characters should be good characters, fully fleshed out, and their gender traits, their personality traits, their skin color, their sexual orientation, that should be secondary.
Right, which is what we've been saying.
Yeah, and as long as they continue going down that road, I don't have any problem.
So do I think that Cara Dune's SJW? No, I do not. Not yet.
Not yet. That's what...
But what we have to go on so far, I do not believe so. She did not best him. It was a draw. Yeah. And that's what we've been saying. It's like, you need to have a female character who is on the same level. You don't have to weaken the male character to make them somehow more. And you didn't have to here. And that was what was great.
Yeah, because compare that to how they introduced all the new female characters in The Last Jedi.
Oh my God, yeah.
Where, Rose, Holdo, and Rey, they all made the men in their lives look lame.
Yeah, suddenly Poe wasn't an asshole who killed a bunch of people and was arrogant and thought he should be in charge when he wasn't.
Yep.
Finn went from, growing a pair and deciding who he was and taking on Kylo Ren himself to, oh no, I'm going to leave again. Yeah, I'm a coward.
He's a coward and a sidekick. And then Rey, of course, makes Luke Skywalker look bad because Luke Skywalker's decided to just give up on life.
Right.
So there is a definite difference in how they handled, a character like Cara Dune versus Rey. So, and I completely admit Rey is a complete Mary Sue.
I'm sorry, she is. And Baby Yoda's not.
Baby Yoda is not, but they're looking for reasons. Now, I do want to point out that they said that they are starting to fill in some backstory as to how, and I think that's one of the biggest complaints, with Disney Star Wars, is they don't explain how the First Order, stayed in power or took power.
Well, I think they're trying to retcon it now with the comics and the books. Is what they're trying to do now. They're trying to go back and look, oh, we meant to do this because the new books and comics, they're retconning them from 5 years ago, and it was all meant to be the case, and it's like, no.
Yeah, so, but they're trying to fill in the blanks with The Mandalorian now, and basically, if you caught some of Cara Dune's dialogue, it was like, oh, after Endor, the government's in shambles, and, that does, give rise, but they never explain. Disney basically won Stormtroopers and TIE Fighters to sell Stormtrooper and TIE Fighter toys.
Right.
That's the end of it. That's because it didn't even make sense to George Lucas. He's like, no, they would have progressed beyond.
Right. The first movie, The Force Awakens, it was good because it felt familiar, which is people are arguing that about this too. Yeah. It was good because it felt familiar, but in the fact that I thought it was too familiar, where you didn't get anything new. So then you went to completely the opposite direction with The Last Jedi, where it was so far removed from the original to subvert your expectations that it was like, what the hell just happened? And, you know, there was no like middle ground. And that's what I think they're trying to do.
Yeah, they're trying to. Now, again, you know, I am cautiously optimistic. I did not like the first episode of The Mandalorian that much. I really did not like that alien. I thought he was doofy as hell, and it took me out of it. I will agree that people have complaints, and well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay, are we?
We're going to talk about that. That they are kind of playing it safe.
Oh, it's Anthony!
Yeah, we're going to talk about... I just talked about comic book resources yesterday. Comic book... And I'll go down this road. But there are... I think there are legitimate complaints that they are making the show very, very familiar. We've got, Boba Fett, you like Boba Fett. Oh, Jawas, you like Jawas.
I agree.
Yoda, you like Yoda.
To a point, but I also think that, you know, they're mad because it feels like a samurai western. Well, that's what Star Wars was based on. So to me, it's like you can make it familiar and yet be new. And that's what this is doing. Where I think Force Awakens was just too much, you know, banked on being the same thing. It was a New Hope all over again.
The plot, well, see, that's the thing. They have familiar elements, but they're not stealing the plot.
It's like Rogue One.
Yeah. Rogue One was familiar, but then it had some other things that I thought kind of took me out of it. Like the one brain alien thing was a very Star Trek, I thought.
Okay, well...
Yeah, nitpicking. Anyway, it had familiar elements, but put them together differently into a different kind of story. And that's The Mandalorian. It is literally a space western with very familiar Star Wars paint on top of it, which is okay. I like westerns.
So we go through the article, and he's talking about, you know, it's like a total consensus, yay! But we can't have that, can we?
No, we can't, because comic book resources would not get hits if the fandom was united again. And
they're talking about the Jedi or Jedi Fallen Order and how it's pretty good, and you know, and they're going on about that. They're saying about how it's playing safe. Well, being safe doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Agreed. The most people acknowledge is the better films in the franchise. They're talking about, you know, Avengers. See, it doesn't mean bad. It just means it might alienate audiences just means risks that might alienate audiences aren't taken. And there's a reason, because you want to keep it feeling like it feels. Because when you take risks like The Last Jedi, yeah. Anyway.
Sometimes it doesn't pay off.
So they go on, you know, okay, it's not that bad, you know, it's a good thing, you know, okay. And then we get down here. I'm trying to find it. Okay. We're talking about diversity, because don't you know? Where did it start? We're talking about diversity. They start talking about that because don't you know that none of the other movies, Star Wars is primarily focused on white men as the lead characters.
Pedro Pascal is Hispanic.
Beyond that, though. He doesn't see his face anyway. White men. No. Because it was Luke to Anakin. Because the Anakin was Luke's dad. So, of course, the main characters were white because, you know, unless they could switch race somewhere in the middle.
Cloning. It's space. It's space. Anybody can be any color in space.
So they go on about that. But, you know, it has not always been, you know, they're acting like there's no diversity in Star Wars. And it's always had diversities. That's not true. They're talking about...
we have to throw shade at Cameron Monaghan again.
Because, you know...
Gingers can't exist.
That's right.
In Star Wars, we can't.
Diverse cast remains a huge risk. That's why The Mandalorian and the Jedi Fallen Order are superb, but they're undeniably part of the pacifying impact on the Star Wars fandom due to bigots.
Not complaining.
So then, of course, the bigots are showing us the quartering and EBS. Those are the two bigots.
According to Anthony Gramuglia, yes.
And of course, as indicated here, however, some of these fandom menace types seem to believe that due to lack of diversity in The Mandalorian, they have one. Yeah, they're here right, the elephant in the room. Of course, this article is effing long because he always goes win, talk because I'm Anthony, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but while everything is safe, there is another reason the vocal fandom menace hasn't complained about the new Star Wars, and that's because both The Mandalorian and Fallen Order focus on the exploration of men.
That's not
And no, it's not true!
If they did a Mara Jade show...
they would get, like, tons of views.
That was respectful to how she was portrayed in the books, it would go through the roof.
Well,
people would not be complaining.
We'll look at the comments here in a minute, but we're going to talk about this writer, because he likes to write a lot about Comicsgate and haters and blah, 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 politically aggressive, poorly written movement. That's what he does. He goes on and on.
Multiple articles.
On. Well, his head's going to explode because 1, we aren't Comicsgate. 2, we aren't Fandom Menace. And 3, we aren't outright. So, oh my God, his head's going to explode. And now he'll go to Twitter and complain about us because that's what he did last time. Yeah. I just feel he hasn't had enough attention lately. So maybe I should, give him a shout out.
We actually laid off. We didn't do any stories by him.
I didn't see anything that he has written lately that warranted me even talking about. So,
Well, yeah, and I heard,
mostly because of that.
we heard after the fact, I guess he was complaining about us on Twitter. But
Apparently he complains about a lot of people on Twitter.
yeah, but it was like weeks after the fact. I'm like, oh, okay. Because we get so many notifications on Twitter. So if you guys are like trying to tweet us anyway and I don't respond, we get so many now, I don't even.
Yeah, and I haven't even been on Twitter for like 2 days because I was at the hospital.
But don't take it personally. But yeah, apparently he was complaining about us on Twitter because we covered one of his, I don't know, She-Ra articles or something. But this is...
I don't even remember. It was that non-memorable to me.
It's not just him. This is a trend, especially at Comic Book Resources, especially at the Mary Sue, which ironically he writes for both. By the way, he writes for both, and we're not even.
And everything's alt-right.
We're not even right wing. So he, it's not just him. Comic Book Resources in particular lately has been on the offensive, attacking fans because it gets hits. I did that. I did a video talking about how they were attacking the Joker. Like, they were really reaching to be like, look, the Joker was, he became a villain because of toxic white men. No.
Well, they're reaching in this article, too. But I love it. You can't talk about him or say anything about him in his articles, but he can go and take screenshots and flat out say these people are bigots.
Yeah, he's basically flat out, like, Van Sciver and the Quartering are bigots. He name checks the fandom Menace.
I must say, I'd say pot or kettle, but I'm already the kettle, so you're the pot. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm signing you the pot. And then you go to these comments, and people call it out. They're like, the Mandalorian's never seen. A black guy, an Unknown Alien, Baby Yoda, and a white Imperial, person like POC scientist. He's like, you can't use that, argument here.
No.
And then they're going about I'm tired of a single speaking female role in the first episode. Well, you're either tired or being disingenuous because in the first episode, he goes to the female Mandalorian. They go on. I was just wondering, this article was reaching too hard. Then I saw the name. Never mind. So it's not just us.
This coming from a black dude.
This is the obligatory weekly. We need clicks, stir up some controversy, posting an article that's going to rile everyone up.
This is his MO. This is look.
Here. The author also gets off by making fun of the comments here on this Twitter account. This is what we're talking about.
Why is this person representing Comic Book Resources? Yeah, this is true because this person went off for apparently 20 or 30 tweets, which we never saw until weeks after the fact. I'm like, whatever.
I don't even know what the article was because I don't remember.
I think it was one of the She-Ra things. But this person, this author spends all their time writing and I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say it's not alt-right fandom. It's anti-fan. He writes anti-fan articles because, he has a certain way that he thinks a fandom should be. And because not all fans agree.
You mean like what he accused everybody else of?
Yeah. Because he doesn't agree, then they're clearly public enemy number one.
Right.
But this is about clicks, because the way these sites get paid, now I don't know the specifics of Comic Book Resources, but I do know other blogs, and how they pay is they usually give you a base rate for an article, and you are paid per click beyond that. So if you get paid and a lot of these places don't pay much. You might get like $15 or $20 if you're lucky for an article. And then if you get like 25,000 or 50,000 clicks beyond that, they give you more money because they just kind of do an ad rev share. I don't know how Comic Book Resources works. I've never written for Comic Book Resources. I don't care.
I don't think they're going to hire you.
I don't care. Well,
my comment isn't there anymore.
Yeah, Geeky commented the other day on the Baby Yoda debacle. Again, trying to poke the bear, trying to get the fans riled up.
And I just said, I'm a woman and I don't agree with what you're saying.
And it was there because I saw it and then it was gone. I think they made the connection that Geeky is geeky.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible I accidentally deleted it. I don't see how.
They would say, do you want to delete this? Yes or no?
To be fair, I'm not going to say that because, we try to be fair here. This is one of the most asinine, contradictory, and contemptible pieces of hogwash I've ever read in this site. The only white dudes visible in the Mandalorian so far have been the villainous men, so based on this fool's logic, the vocal minority of racist, sexist scumbags fans should hate it.
Diversity equals too many white people.
Pretty much.
Well, this is true. Diversity is not why people hate the new movies.
Yeah, they keep
Correct.
saying it.
I think a lot of people...
Well, it isn't the fact that they keep to make characters powerful, the diverse characters powerful, they had to weaken other characters. But those characters were diverse as well.
Yeah.
Poe, not white.
Yeah.
Finn, not white. They had penises. So that's problematic, apparently.
It's problematic. I still stand by my opinion that Finn should have been the lead in the sequel trilogy. We would have had a radically different trilogy. It would have been so much cooler to see Luke Skywalker train a former stormtrooper to carry on the Jedi
or make
legacy.
Rey the former stormtrooper, you know?
Yeah, why
or
can't we
even
do that?
better yet, I think if they had them as a group, like they're doing this next movie, if they had done that going forward, and then they were, you know, like they were used to be in the old Star Wars, they were all equal footing, you know, kind of. I mean, Luke was a little bit higher because he was a Jedi, and he would go off on his own, but they all kind of would come back together, and they'd work together, so they didn't feel like they were less than. And I think if had they done that, it might have worked better. But no, we have to subvert expectations because, you know.
God, and here we have, we hate bad story writing as covered by forced diversity
Yes,
for the
amen.
sake of diversity. Yeah, exactly. That's it. They keep making it something it isn't.
Well, wait, what's this last one?
I like the last one. It's like, this article's written by a white guy.
A tiny insecure white guy wrote this article. I won't rest until CBR puts their money where their mouths are. I want a transgender black Asian woman who loves toasters to write the next article. Thank you. This article is trash because a white guy wrote it. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm sorry.
This is crazy. And again, this goes back to what I talked about with, yesterday with the Joker, where these sites are, I think they're crazy jealous of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There's
no question. With comments that were made on Twitter, that's what's going on.
They're terrified of YouTube. So what's going on is the blogs are attacking. It's this vicious circle. They're attacking YouTube to get the YouTubers to talk about them to get the hits.
So this person had a hissy because we read one of his articles on here and used it for a video. Had a hissy. How dare we do that? As he goes and gets the quartering and EVS and uses them and then says they're bigots and then uses them on here. How dare he? How dare he not just do everything himself? How dare he go try to invoke those names to get hashtags and clicks and everything else to get more views?
He wants to poke the bear and then he wants to cry about when the bear bites his damn arm off. Mm-hmm. And this is but like I said, this is what this guy does. He writes. Yeah. Writes. And
apparently it's not just us, though. From the comments, apparently we're not the only ones who noticed.
Even people who might agree with him normally would be like, dude, this is like, what's the deal?
Well, then he starts out with some okay points. Then he has to get in there. Has to get some in there. But it's
at the very end.
Haters.
I kind of wonder how this goes down with these article writers. Is because we always see like everything starts out normal, like with a Star Wars piece or something on some website. And then by the time you get to the end of the story, they're ranting about Trump and Russian bots, and it has nothing to do with the rest of the story. I think they're like, oh, my editors are just going to check the first 4 or 5 paragraphs, but I'm going to sneak this.
I don't know, because it's going to get noticed. I don't.
They want to be noticed. This is it. It's a game. These blogs, and I saw it go on with Bleeding Cool for a while too. They deliberately attack YouTubers because they can hitch their wagon to YouTube because the YouTubers get way more views. I mean, compare, like, look, as controversial, quote unquote, as this article is, what's he got? Like 10 comments, 20 comments?
18, I think.
18 comments?
I don't know, go back up and I'll tell you.
11 comments.
Okay, I was
11 comments. An average YouTube video covering the same thing is probably going to get between 500 and 1,500 comments.
Mm-hmm, at least.
These blogs are dying. They're dying on the vine here. And, but it's become this vicious circle where I think they know that they can hitch their wagon to you. So what they're doing is they're creating these articles. So frankly, people like us take the bait and do videos about them.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then they go complain.
We just did it on purpose.
It reminds me. It reminds me of wrestling, professional wrestling. It's like it's this game they got going. Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass in the ring on Monday. Ooh, yeah, you know. And
you can't compare it to that because that's toxic masculinity.
It is toxic masculinity.
That's what he'd say.
Okay, but and I think I almost feel like a lot of these journalists, I don't even know if they actually believe it. I think they're
oh no, this person does.
Do they? I don't know. I almost feel like they're playing a character. I almost feel like they're playing a character. Like, how ridiculous can I be to get these people to?
I think it's paid by the word, because you could have cut this thing down to 4 or 5 paragraphs and it would have been okay.
No, I think you make it long so you can sneak in.
I mean, but it's like, something safe doesn't make it bad. I see there's lots of points I do agree with. You know, there's points in here I agree with. And then, it's going, okay, I agree with you, cool. And then we have to get down here and be like, the fandom Menace, which, like I said, his head's going to explode because we're not even fandom Menace. So, but we're also not, alt-right, nor are we Comicsgate. So, oh my God!
We're just giving armchair opinions. We're mom and dad giving our boomer opinions on pop culture. But
don't even say boomer, because they're technically not boomers.
My mom's a boomer.
I know, we're not boomers.
But it's just crazy because they have these journalists, and again, I'm not singling this guy out in particular, but so many of them are so out of touch with where the vast majority of fandoms are. Like,
oh no, I think they're completely in touch, and they're deliberately doing it because that's where they get their hits.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to say it because everybody's starting to get united over Mandalorian. I mean, there's some people who don't like it, and that's cool. But a lot of people are like liking it, and it's bringing a lot of fans back in. And then, you know, we can't have that. Who's going to read our articles about complaining about, you know, alt-right fandom menace, Comicsgate people that have nothing to do with it? You know, if we don't have we don't drum up hate and divisiveness.
Well, because what's going on now is like, I mean, everybody's going to YouTube. They're going to YouTube, and these blogs, frankly, the people writing for them don't have the personalities to carry YouTube. You look at even the Mary Sue is at a YouTube channel for how many years, and they only got like 40 or 50,000 subs on it. They can't do it, so they're pissed off.
But anyway, back to what we were talking about. This whole article, which we went down this whole other path. Do I think that Cara Dune is SJW? No. At this point, I do not feel she is.
At this point, being a disclaimer.
Because I don't know where they're going to go with her later. But if you go up to this point, do I feel she's SJW? No. Do I feel she's a strong character? Yes. Do I feel she's a strong female character? I feel she's a strong character who happens to be female.
And that's the difference.
And yeah, that is the difference. I think that she is not stronger than the Mandalorian. She is not better than the Mandalorian. In fact, they work together and they team up and cover each other, and they do a fantastic job. And it's exactly how Star Wars should be. It's how the original teams were. It's how Luke, Leia, and Han were. And I get that. I get more of the vibe of the old Star Wars show off of that team up than I have anything else I've seen in the new films.
Yeah, even Rogue One, it seemed like the team didn't really feel like a team. They felt very disjointed.
They do, but I still think they teamed up better then.
Yeah.
You know, that's the closest one of the bunch I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, it's look, so far it's pretty good. I mean, it's not because it has a male lead. Like I said, they could have swapped out the Mandalorian for Mara Jade or another character, and as long as it was written well.
That's what I keep saying. It's not about the fact that the character's a woman. That's what they keep. The people who don't listen, because they have in their head that's their narrative, and whether or not it's true doesn't matter, because that's what the narrative they're going to push. And a lot of them keep coming out and saying it has nothing to do with her being a woman. So anyway, so we're gonna wrap this one up. I think this episode for us anyway was another winner. We don't know if that trend is going to continue or not, because I keep again, and I've said it every week. Every review, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop that we're going to be reminded this is Disney Star Wars. At some point in time, it's going to smack us upside the head and be like, oh, yep, this is Disney Star Wars. We're not going to let you have this one. But I thought it was pretty good. It's more about telling a story and having good characters than it is about pointing and pushing an agenda, pointing to a certain gender or whatever.
So we'll see if that trend continues.
I hope so. I really hope so, because I think that's what we need more of. We need strong characters that happen to be male, that happen to be female, that happen to be, a different ethnicity, that happen to be, different religion, that happen to be whatever. We need more characters, happen to be trans. I don't care. As long as they're good characters, I don't think anybody really cares.
That's just it, man. You don't need a blinking neon sign above them being like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, here's what my crotch is. It's like, come on.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, opinions, and rants.
That's right.
On Clownfish TV. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.